The following is a live presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. Good morning, afternoon, evening. My name is Ron Juckett with shorn hair. Welcome to the program for this first day of October. And today we kind of go off track this week after we'd set the schedule for what was supposed to be a doubleheader today. We got word that Pete Rose passed away at the age of 83 yesterday, September 30th. I actually saw a picture of him from over the weekend, and he had been wheelchair bound at that point. He was still doing card shows and all that, and was with some of the other survivors of the Big Red Machine. I think I saw David Concepcion and some others in the pictures, and Rose was seated in a chair. So sadly, his health was not in the world's greatest condition before he passed away. So instead of doing a specific game for Rose, because those are always tricky to do, and they never do, and it never happens what you expect to happen unless your name is Bill Walton. Rose's best year was 1969. That was his highest OPS plus. I believe it was his highest OPS. And the Reds are on the verge of being an exceptional team in 1969. They would get over the hump in 1970 when they would hire someone by the name of Sparky Anderson to be their manager. Whatever happened to him. But 69 was Rose's best year. In fact, he had 16 home runs in 1969. So we're going to play them at Crosley Field against the Atlanta Braves. I have a few Hall of Famers of their own. It won't be Phil DeCrow. It won't be the Aces going. It'll be just a mid-range pitcher there. And we picked the 4th of July, which apparently the weather says is great. So we pay tribute to the all-time leader in hits in Major League history, Pete Rose. Next. As Retro Sports Network presents a special presentation, a tribute to Pete Rose. Today, from Crosley Field in Cincinnati, Ohio, it is the Cincinnati Reds and the Atlanta Braves. And today's game is brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find us today on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. How you doing, Forever Remain? No, that would be a September. Actually, you know what? No, we don't do those because it never happens. Research says that actually was not September 11th, 1985, off of Eric Shaw. They revised some of Ty Cobb's hit numbers, and Cobb had 2 less hits. And so he actually broke the record, technically, September 8th, 1985 at Wrigley Field. How you doing? A Big Red legend, Brandon, for sure, and this day does belong to Charlie Hustle. Jim Maloney gets the call for the Reds in this one. 12-5 in 69, a 2.77 ERA, 178 2/3, 135 hits, 64 runs, 55 earned, 11 homers. He walked 86 and struck out 102. Maloney, best known for 100 and some odd thousand pitch no-hitter against the Cubs in 64, which was preserved in color and is on YouTube. In 69, Maloney is 29, is a fastball pitcher at 95, and is a fly ball pitcher. Here's the Braves lineup for you. Felix Millan is at second base. He'll lead off. Tony Gonzalez in center will bat second. Hank Aaron in right will go third. Rico Cardi cleans up in left. Orlando Cepeda, the baby bull, at first will bat fifth. There are a number of Hall of Famers in this one. Clete Boyer at third will bat sixth. Bob Didier, who I didn't know about till just now, behind the plate batting seventh. Sonny Jackson at short will bat eighth. And Ron Reed, who will eventually become a teammate of Pete Rose, is on the mound batting ninth. And Maloney can pretty much go as long as he wants. It is Johnson in left. He's a 6 and a 2 for the Reds. Bobby Tolan in center is a 7 and a 4. And Pete Rose is a pretty good right fielder in his own right. He is a 10 and an 8 out there with a .986 fielding percentage. Now, Rose played 18,000 different positions. with that, why would you ever move him out of the outfield? Tony Perez is a third baseman. He's a 5. Woody Woodward is a 7 at short. Tommy Helms, who will become a friend of Rosa's and be a coach, is a 9 at second. Lee May is a 7 at first. Johnny Bench is a 10 and a 10 behind the plate. And Maloney is an 8 on the mound with a 974 fielding percentage. We don't want to play Atlanta. So we're set for this one. Let's see, RJL. Yep, hit for the cycle one day in your 69 replay. You never did that in real life. I didn't realize he had 160 career home runs either. Yeah, RJL and his playoffs going on right now. Doing 69, I believe. The A's have moved on to the ALCS. And I think that's as far as series that are finished. Mian at 267, 6 homers and 57 RBI. Maloney starts this one, and that's a base hit into right center. Tolan throws it back in, and that's how this one starts. We played this one on the 4th of July. In real life, the Reds played the Dodgers. 88 degrees, day game, wind blowing out to right center at 5. Tony Gonzalez at 294 for Atlanta. 10 homers and 50 RBI. Maloney sets and deals. This should be 2. Woodward, no, only goes to first. May is there, and that's an out. So Mian moves on to second. And 1 out for Hank Aaron. In 69, Henry hit 300. Hit 44 home runs and drove in 97. He walked 87 times and struck out just 47. Maloney's pitch. Base hit left field. Johnson will pick it up. Miano around third. Johnson does not have a great arm. But they're going to try to throw home. That's Alex Johnson out there. The play at the plate. Mian slides, and Bench can't get a tag on. They throw to cut off Aaron, and they got him. What a play by Johnny Bench. So the run scored with ease, and Aaron, not a slow runner by any stretch, but Bench knew he wasn't going to get the play at the plate. He threw down to second, and they got Aaron. My goodness. So 2 out for Rico Carty, hitting .342, 16 homers and 58 RBI. Nobody on. Carty draws the walk. For Cepeda, the baby bull at 257, 22 homers and 88 RBI. You can see why Atlanta won the West. They are a solid team. Pitch to Cepeda. Runners go. That's in the right center for a base hit. Tolan cuts it off in front of Rose. Carty should be headed to third. And they're going to try to get the runner there. Direct throw to Tony Perez, and Carty is in there. Cepeda moves on to second. Did that get away? Yeah, it's an error. So 2-0 as Tolan's throw gets past Perez. Carty scores. And in typical fashion for a tribute game, the other team gets up early, 2-0. For Clete Boyer, hitting .250, 14 homers and 57 RBI. So Maloney, who went 12-5 in real life, off to a slow start in this one. There goes Cepeda, ground ball left side, base hit. Mr. Howard's going to give me grief about this one. Cepeda's going to score. It's 3-0 Atlanta. So here's Bob Didier. Bob at 256, no homers and 32 RBI. So Boyer on first. 4 hits for the Braves, 2 out. And walked him. So a 3-1 fastball misses upstairs. Here's Sonny Jackson. Sonny at 239. 5 triples, a homer, and 27 RBI. Runners go. That's in the left. Johnson coming in, rides a Schwinn, makes the catch, and that'll do it. So the Braves put a 3 spot on the board. Half an inning in the books. Atlanta 3, Cincinnati nothing. So let's tell you about Ron Reed. I think for most of you, remember him as a good reliever for the Phillies in the late 70s. In 1969, he was 26 years old, 18-10 with a 3.47 ERA, 33 starts, 241 in a third innings, 227 hits, 103 runs, 93 earned, 24 homers. He walked 56 and struck out 160. Here's how the Reds will line up for you. Bobby Tolan in center will lead off. Pete Rose in right will bat second. Lee May cleans up, or is at first and will go third. Tony Perez, with 37 homers, cleans up at third. Johnny Bench behind the plate will bat fifth. And so the big red machine is certainly being assembled. Tommy Helms at second will bat sixth. Alex Johnson in left will go seventh. He's still at 17 homers. Woody Woodward, former or future Atlanta Brave, at short will bat eighth. Maloney will bat ninth, not a great hitter. And Ron Reed can go, as long as he needs to go. Rico Cardi is a 5 and a 2 in left. Tony Gonzalez for Atlanta is a 5 and a 3 in center. Hank Aaron is a 7 and a 9 in right. Hard to believe that Rose was a better defender than Hank Aaron, but I take them at their word. I wasn't around in 1969. Clete Boyer is a 10 at third. Sonny Jackson a 5 at short. Felix Millan a 10 at second. Orlando Cepeda a 6 at first. Bo Didier is a 5 and a 4 behind the plate. And Reed can field his position well. He's an 8 with a .962 fielding percentage. Bobby Tolan steps in at 305. Has speed, 21 homers. How you doing, Mike in the truck? 93 RBI and 26 steals. Tolan, base hit into right field, and Aaron will cut it off immediately. So the Reds waste no time, and here is the man of the hour. Rose at 348. 33 doubles, 11 triples, 16 homers, 82 RBI, and 120 runs scored. Again, this is his pony year. He walked 88 times and struck out 65. Into right field. Back goes Aaron, but Henry will march it down and make the catch, 1 out. Rose pulled that one down the line and no avail. 1 out for Lee May at 278, 38 homers, and 110 RBI. Throw to first, and Tolan goes back. Gets away from Didier, and Tolan moves up to second. So the Reds get a runner in scoring position in the wild pitch. And a 1-ball, 1-strike count to May. Reed, on this warm July day, mops his brow and deals. Fly ball, shallow left. Cardi has it for the out, and Tolan goes back to second. So 2 out for Tony Perez, hitting .294, 37 homers, and 122 RBI. I think the Reds were 87-game winners in '69. To start on one of the best runs of any team in National League history. Between 70 and 76, they would go to the World Series 4 times. They would win it twice and win 5 out of 7 National League West titles. They missed in 71. That was the Giants, and they missed in 74. That was the Dodgers. Pitch to Perez. Runner goes. That's going to be caught by Jackson, who made a nice running stab behind the bag. Reds get a hit and leave a runner on, and after 1, it's 3-0 Atlanta. So Maloney, a rough first time through the lineup. It'll be Reed, Millan, and Gonzalez. Ron, 125 with an RBI. Popped up left side, Woodward skies it, 1 out. Mian singled and scored in the first. Maloney opening 9, 24 pitches. Inning in the third, 4 hits and 2 walks. Woodward, a screamer right to him, throws to first. May is there, and that will take care of business. 2 out for Tony Gonzalez, who's 0 for 1. So what are your guys' memories of Pete Rose? Pitch to Gonzalez, that's in the left. Johnson moving over, makes the catch, and makes a diving catch on the grass out there. How about that? So the Braves go in order in the second. And after an inning and a half, it's Atlanta 3, Cincinnati nothing. So Bench, Helms, and Johnson to face Reed here in the second. Johnny at 293, 26 homers, and 90 RBI. Pitch to Bench. Here's a ground ball to Boyer. He waits. He throws to Cepeda for the out. 1 away. Tommy Helms at 269, a home run, and 40 RBI. Reed winds and deals. That's into center. Gonzalez moves in a step or two. Will make the catch, and there's 2 out. For Alex Johnson, hitting .315, 17 homers, and 88 RBI. Reed rubs up the baseball. Again, 89 degrees. My understanding is that while Riverfront, which is being constructed in the summer of '69, is on the Ohio River, that this was a bit further away from downtown. And by this time, although you can't see it in the picture behind that scoreboard, I-70 went through this area. Now an industrial park. Pitch to Johnson. Fly ball right center. Gonzalez can't make the play. Johnson's digging for 2, and that's a 2-base error for Tony Gonzalez. I think he lost that in the sun. So the Reds catch a break. 2 out for Woodward. Woody at 261, 12 doubles, and 15 RBI. 2 out, Reed deals. Walked him. So first and second for Maloney in 2 out. Jim, a 200 hitter in '69, did have 3 homers and drove in 8. And he is, by the way, the tying run. Got him. Reed struck him out, an 0-2 fastball, and Maloney chased, and that'll do it. Reds, no runs, no hits. The error does not hurt. They have left on 3, and after 2, it's Atlanta 3, Cincinnati nothing. So Aaron, Carty, and Cepeda to face Maloney here in the third. Hank singled and drove home a run in the first. In the center, Tolan, 1 out. For Rico Carty, Rico walked and scored. '69, actually, as most of you know, was an expansion year. Both the American and National League took on 2 new teams. In the American League, it was Seattle. And now I forget. With the National League, it was Montreal and Kansas City being the other one. And they both went the American League West. In the National League, it was San Diego in the West. It was the first year divisional play, and Montreal in the East. Pitch to Carty. Line down the line, and Alex is going to have to field that one. Carty in the second standing with a double. 5th hit off of Maloney. And now bring up Cepeda, who singled and scored. Got him. First strikeout for Maloney, a 2-2 fastball ground to chase. 2 out for Boyer. Cleat singled and drove home a run in the first. In '69, the mounds were lowered from 15 inches, coming off of Carl Yastrzemski being the only American leaguer to break 300 at the plate, down to 10. And so watered down pitching and dropping the mound down certainly helped rebuild some offenses. And you can see from the stats that are popping up on the screen that these two teams certainly benefited. Pitch to Boyer. There goes Carty into right field. Rose goes back. Pete is there, makes the catch, and that'll do. No runs, a hit. The Braves have left on 3, and after 2.5, it is Atlanta 3, the Reds nothing. So Tolan, Rose, and May to face Reed here in the third. Bobby singled to start the ballgame. The lone hit for Cincinnati. And he draws the walk. So let's see if Tolan gets a green light here. He may or may not. So Pete, 218 hits in 69. Is 0 for 1. Waves the bat back and forth. He had a really, really tight strike zone. He really kind of squinched in there. Not sure how comfortable it would have been, but for Rose, I mean, when you get 4,000 base hits, it couldn't have been that uncomfortable. Throw to first. Tolan is back. And Rose dusts himself off and digs back in. Pitch to Rose. Gets away from Didier, and Tolan doesn't go anywhere. Rose kind of gives a side eye down to Bobby at first. And gets comfortable back in the box. Reed with a 1-0 count delivers. And Rose hits this one hard to first. Cepeda goes to Jackson for 1. Back to Cepeda, and Rose grounds into a double play. It wouldn't be a tribute game if the person in question didn't do all that well, right? Brings up Lee May. Lee is 0 for 1. Reed deals. In the left field. Well hit. Back goes Carty, and that ball is gone. That hit the red sign on the scoreboard, and Cincinnati's on the board. It's a 3-1 ball game. May hit that one off the board. A pick and a poke for sure. So the 28,000 crowd here. Certainly a sellout here at Crosley. 2 out for Perez, who's 0 for 1. Appreciates that. Only the second hit for the Reds. Got him. So Reed gets out of it. A 1-2 curveball that Perez chased. However, it's Lee May who gets the big hit. The home run off the scoreboard and left. And after 3, Atlanta 3, Cincinnati 1. So Didier, Jackson, and Reed to face Maloney here in the 4th. Slow chopper to Helms. Tommy, a great play over to first. They got him. Didier had walked his first time up. And that brings up Sonny Jackson, who's 0 for 1. To Helms again, this time towards first base, over to May, and there's 2 out. For Ron Reed, who's 0 for 1. Base hit, right center field. Reed digging for 2, and he's in there with a double. Only had 1 on the real year. 2 out from Mian. Felix is 1 for 2. He has singled and scored. Maloney, 18 batters, 60 pitches. Not a great effort. 3 2/3, 6 hits, 2 walks, and a strikeout. He deals. Runner goes, and Mian draws the walk. So first and second, 2 out for Tony Gonzalez, who's 0 for 2. To third, Perez waits. He has a long throw to May. Gonzalez is running, but May is there, and that will retire the side. Atlanta threatens but does not score. No runs, a hit, no errors. Bottom of the 4th, we have no standings to show you, so we won't do that. Braves 3, Reds 1. So bench Helms and Johnson to face Reed here in the fourth, and Johnny is 0 for 1. So anybody have any memories of Rose you'd like to share? Pitch to bench. Ground ball left side, base hit. So Cardy will throw that one back in. And here's Tommy Helms. Tommy's 0 for 1. Only the third hit for the Reds. Helms into left field, and that's going to drop in front of Cardy in the alley. Rico picks it up. Bench takes a long look and heads to third. So runners on the corners for Alex Johnson, and the Reds are threatening here in the fourth. Alex is 0 for 1. Bench on third, Helms on first, and Johnson at the plate. Popped up right side. Cepeda by the pens, and the dugout makes the catch. 1 away. For Woody Woodward, who walked his first time up. So runners on the corners, bench on third, Helms on first, Woodward at the plate, and Ron Reed working on a warm summer day here at Crosley Field. 93 degrees. Everyone gets ice cream today. Pitch to Woodward. Into shallow right center. Gonzalez running in. That's going to be too shallow to score bench, you would think. Johnny tags. They're going to send him. The throw to the plate. They got him. It was close, but they got him. And they do not score. We've played 4. The Reds are timing Ron Reed better. It is the Braves 3, the Reds 1. Brings up Aaron. Hank at 1 for 2. He has singled and driven in a run. That came in the first. Maloney starts the 5th. That is down the line for extra bases. Johnson throws it into third, and Aaron has himself a double. Brings up Rico Cardy, who walked, doubled, and scored. 7th hit for the Braves. Popped up. Bench. To the screen. Does he get a break? He does. 1 out for Orlando Cepeda. Has signaled and struck out. He's 1 for 2. That's a base hit into left field. Aaron's going to round third. Tolan has it. Bobby is a halfway decent arm. Throws it in, and Aaron will hold. For Clete Boyer, who was 1 for 2. A single and an RBI. So 1 out. Aaron on third. Cepeda on first. And for Maloney, this has not been a good outing. Might be 2 here. Woodward. They're going to try for it. Helms for 1, and Boyer is going to reach because Cepeda got a roll block slide in there. Aaron will score, and it's 4-1 Atlanta. For Bob Didier, who's 0 for 1 with a walk. Runner goes. Ground ball to Woodward. Over to Helms, and that'll do it. So halfway home in this Pete Rose tribute game, of course Atlanta's ahead. They get a run on 2 hits and no errors. Halfway home on a beautiful early fall day here in Burlington. It's 4-1 Braves. If you joined us late, this is our tribute to Pete Rose. Rose's best season was 1969, and so the Reds are at home at Crosley Field hosting the Atlanta Braves on the 4th of July. Not the real game. The Reds were actually playing the Dodgers. Here's how we got here. 4 runs, 8 hits, an error for Atlanta. Hank Aaron, RBI single to score Felix Millan in the first, make it 1-0. Orlando Cepeda with a single to score Rico Cardi, and then Clete Boyer singled home Cepeda to make it 3-0. In the third, the Reds got one back. Lee May, a solo homer to make it 3-1, and then in the fifth, just a moment ago, Boyer, a fielder's choice, to make it 4-1. Ron Reed on the hill for the Braves, and Jim Maloney for Cincinnati, and Maloney hadn't done much. In fact, the Reds are going to pinch hit for him right now. No reason to leave him in. Let's see. Who can hit a righty? So Jimmy Stewart. By George, I didn't realize I was a baseball player. I didn't know that. I hit 253 and 69 and gosh, 4 home runs and 24 RBI. I'd say that I was productive as a hitter. I think I was a better actor, but not a bad year. Into center, in comes Gonzalez. He'll make the catch. And that's the last Jimmy Stewart impression you'll ever hear on this channel. Bobby Tolan has walked and singled. 18 batters deep for Ron Reed. 68 pitches, 4 1/3. He's given up the 1 run. That was a homer to May. 4 hits. He's walked 2 and struck out 2. Yes, Mr. Smith may go to Washington, but Mr. Stewart, you see, I just returned to the dugout. Pitch to Tolan. There's a ground ball to Sonny Jackson over to first. Tolan's running, and is he going to beat it out on the bang-banger? No, he won't. 2 out. So here's Peter Edward. He is 0 for 2 and grounded into a double play. The Reds could use one of his 218 hits right now, especially with May on deck, followed by Perez. Pitch to Rose. Base hit down the line and left. That's extra bases. Cardi throws it in, and Charlie's going to hustle his way into second with a double. He was primarily a singles hitter, although this was one of those years he was triple digits in all 3 of the extra base hit departments. And so Rose on second, 2 out for May, who homered his last time up in the third. So Rose, it's warm, 94 degrees on this 4th of July, 1969. Pitch to May. There goes Rose. In the left center, May hit that one hard, but right at Tony Gonzalez, and that'll do. So at least the man of the hour got a double. After 5, Braves 4, Reds 1. We can pretty much go with whoever the heck we want here, and it's going to be Clay Carroll. Didn't realize Clay pitched for the Braves at one point. 12 6 in 69, 71 games and just 4 starts, a 3.52 ERA. And Carroll would play such a huge role for the Reds coming up in those pennant runs that they'd have throughout the early 70s. In 69, he's 28 years old, fastball at 88, and a ground ball pitcher. In 150 2/3, he allowed 149 hits, 70 runs, 59 of them earned, 9 homers. He walked 78 and struck out 90. Sonny Jackson, Ron Reed, and Felix Millan to go here in the 6th. 4-1 Atlanta. Sonny is 0 for 2. There's a slow ground ball to Woodward, and that's going to play Woody. So Sonny's going to reach on the infield hit. That's one of those Baltimore chops that took a funny hop on the grass. Here's Ron Reed. He doubled his last time up. Not sure how much football they played at Crosley, if any. When the Bengals came in '68, they played at the University of Cincinnati. They played at Nippert Field. May and Perez play for the bunt. Reed drops one down. Bench has it. Throws to Helms for the out. They let the grass grow a bit because the Reds have good speed, and Bench knew where that ball was going to bounce. They weren't going to get Jackson, but they got Reed. One out for Mian. Felix 1 for 2. Single scored and walked. Jackson on second. Mian, a slow bounder to May. Lee takes it to the bag. 2 out. For Tony Gonzalez, who's 0 for 3. Carroll might be able to go the rest of the way, depending on the game situation. Perez, Bench, and Helms for the Reds in the 6th. Right back to Carroll, over to May, and the Braves do not score. So no runs, a hit, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 6th here in Cincinnati. Atlanta 4, Reds 1. And Tony Perez stepping in, 0 for 2 with a strikeout. It is a hot and humid day. Enough to make you want to grab a couple cups of Huttapool from a vendor. 95 degrees here in Cincinnati. Perez struck out. He's 0 for 2. Popped up. Left side. Jackson has it for the out. You really can't tell the resolution for what year that picture is that they have in the game. This is actually a default picture. Johnny Bench, by the way, 1 for 2. But in one of the very rare videotape clips of Crosley Field is in black and white. And I want to say 66 or 67. It is the Astros, and it's after they became the Astros, so I know it's after 65, are in here to play the Reds on a Sunday afternoon game. And Jim Wynn launches one, and I mean launched one, over the wall in left center field. And it bounced up on the brand new I-70. Pitch to Bench. There's a liner in the left. Carty had it played perfectly, 2 out. For Tommy Helms is 1 for 2. Tommy's got himself a single. Reed's pitch. There's a base hit into right center field. Helms is going to reach easy as that throw goes in. At some point this week, Alex Johnson is 0 for 2, by the way. Tried taping this, but the cards I had weren't very good for the White Sox. But I hope to, in some game engine, do a game between the 62 Mets and the 24 White Sox. Pitch to John. I'll throw to first, and Helms is back. And Johnson gets hit. Rose gets up on the top step of the dugout and says a few words. Woody Woodward is 0 for 1 with a walk. So Helms in scoring position. Johnson on first, and Woodward the tying run. Not going to hit a home run here, but he is a tying run. Left center, Gonzalez runs in, makes the catch, and that'll do. So no runs, a hit, and no errors. We go to the 7th here in Cincinnati. Atlanta 4, Reds 1. So Aaron, Carty, and Cepeda to face Carroll here in the 7th. Hank, single, double, RBI, or run scored. Fouls it off. 1 and 2 the count. Left center, Tolan. Waits, 1 out. So you got to figure now that Rose will get in the hall. So in this lineup, there are 3 Hall of Famers. Perez, I'm assuming, is in the hall. Bench, And, say what you want about Rose. Rico Cardi, 1 for 2, a double and a run scored. Walked him. I would venture to guess that most of you who are watching this believe that Rose should be in the Hall. Cepeda is 2 for 3. Orlando has singled twice, scored, and struck out. Right back up to Carroll. No play at second. Throw to May, and Orlando is retired. So 2 out for Cleet Boyer, who is 1 for 3 and is driven in 2. Runner goes, line drive to Perez, and that will take care of business. Stretch time, 4-1 Braves. Crosley Field, by the way, is we're going to let Carroll bat. Lefty friendly for home run hitters. Neutral in batting average. And a bit of a home run friendly park in one of those stadiums that was built to fill the entire block that it filled. And those light standards you see out there were the first of its kind in Major League Baseball. First night game was here at Crosley Field in 1935. Pitch to Carroll. Fly ball to left. Back goes Cardi, but Rico is there. 1 out. So 27 batters deep for Bobby Tolan, or for Ron Reed, rather. Bobby Tolan would be surprised to know he was pitching in this game. Reed, 101 pitches, 6 1/3. 6 hits, the home run from Lee May. He has walked 2 and struck out 2. Tolan is 1 for 2 with a walk. Back up the box, Reed throws to Cepeda for the out. So 2 out for Rose, who you would think might get 2 more at-bats. Certainly 1 more. Pete doubled his last time up. He's 1 for 3. Reed's pitch. Rose again in the left field. He goes the opposite way for a second hit. Well, you can't say Rose hasn't done what he's supposed to be doing in this one. 7th hit for the Reds, and Rose has 2. Here's Lee May. He homered in the 3rd. He had 38 on the real year. 4-1 Braves, 2 out, bottom of the 7th. Reed's pitch, there goes Rose, popped up. Mian on a rainmaker on this clear afternoon will make the catch, and that'll do. So the Reds get a hit. They've left on 8, and after 7, Atlanta 4, Reds 1. So Didier, Jackson, and Reed to face Carroll here in the 8th. No one has any memories of Rose? Pitch to Didier. Line drive, foul, third base side, and somebody from Dayton will make the catch. 2-2 the count. Carroll deals. Base hit, left center field. Johnson and Tolan converge. Didier will hold with a single as the throw goes into short. So nobody out for Sonny Jackson, who's 1 for 3. Sonny has a single. That's hit well in the left field. Alex Johnson moving over, makes the catch. And Didier goes back to first. 1 out for Reed. See what the Braves do here. Ron has a double on the afternoon. He's 1 for 2. Stays in the game. Hits a ground ball to third. Perez. Helms for 1. Tommy does not get a throw off in time or at all to first. And Reed's going to reach on the fielder's choice. 2 out for Mian, who is 1 for 3. He has singled, walked, and scored. 4 runs, 10 hits, and an error for Atlanta. They have left on 8. The Reds a run on 7 hits and an error, and they have left on 8. Beyond, runner goes into center field. Tolan comes in, rides the Schwinn, makes the catch, and that'll do. So the Braves have now left on 9. And we go to the bottom of the 8th. Not over yet. No runs, a hit, and no errors. It's still Atlanta 4, Cincinnati 1. So Perez, Bench, and Helms to face Reed here in the 8th. Tony is 0 for 3. He has struck out. That's a base hit into center field. So a leadoff hit for the Reds brings up Johnny Bench, who's 1 for 3. Johnny's got himself a single. We told you that, in all honesty, the Reds have 3 Hall of Famers starting in this one. I believe the Braves have 2. With Aaron and Cepeda. Pitch to Bench. Up the middle, past Jackson into center field for a base hit. So Perez will hold at second, and Ron Reed's day is done. Claude Raymond will come in to pitch. We got a pitching change. This game coming to you from Crosley Field in Cincinnati, Ohio. So Raymond, Frenchie from Quebec, 2-2 in 69, an earned run average of 525, 33 games. He's 32 years old, fastball at 83, and an extreme ground ball pitcher. He does have 1 save, 48 innings, 56 hits, 34 runs, 28 earned. 4 home runs. He's walked 13 and struck out 15. So as Tommy Helms steps in, he's 2 for 3, has singled twice, and the Reds smell blood in the water. Cody says, unfortunately, a little young for memories of Rose. Wasn't even doing sports talk by the time you came of age. How old are you? Popped up Didier to the screen, and I think he's going to run out of real estate. He is, and the count is full. Rose left after the 78 season, and they fired Sparky Anderson. They came within a whisker of the Dodgers in 78. Went to Philadelphia, was a big cog of their World Series winning performance in 1980, and along with Tony Perez and Joe Morgan and some of the others, the Wheeze gang, willed them to the National League pennant in 83. So Rose, between 1970 and 1983, played in 1, 2, 3, 6 World Series and won 3. Pitch to Helms. There's a base hit into center field. Gonzalez will pick it up. Perez will round third and hold. So the bases are loaded for Alex Johnson, and there's still nobody out here in the 8th. And for Helms, that's his 3rd hit. 33. Wow. Well, thanks for watching. Alex Johnson is 0 for 2. Rose in the late 70s, when I started watching baseball, was everywhere. He pitched Aquavelva. You knew he was a gambler. He actually a couple times showed up on the NFL Today. Came across as smart, well-spoken, but not like an everyman. When he went to Philadelphia, started doing ads for Grecian Formula, which took the gray out of your hair. Johnson is 0 for 2. There's a base hit in the left field. Perez is going to score. Bench will try to run on Cardi. Nope. There is still nobody out for Woody Woodward, and it's now a 4-2 ball game. Bench on third, Helms the tying run on second, and Johnson the go-ahead run on first. So Claude Raymond maybe not the answer for Atlanta here. Pitch to Woodward. Ball 4, and it's a one-run game. Bench gets the free pass home. That'll do it for Clay Carroll. Chico Ruiz will be the pinch hitter. 245, no homers, and 13 RBI. So Helms the tying run on third. Johnson the go-ahead run on second. And Woodward, the recipient of the walk, on first. Forrest is only 42. Walked him. And we're tied up. Look who's on deck. Not Bobby Tolan. He's 1 for 3. A single and a walk. So Rose on deck. In a 4-4 game, the Reds have fought all the way back. Claude Raymond will be elected mayor of Cincinnati if he blows this. Didier and Raymond have a word. The pitch to Tolan. Infield in, ground ball, base hit. Johnson's going to score. Woodward's going to round third and hold, and it's a 5-4 game. And Claude Raymond isn't going to pitch to Pete Rose. It'll be Paul Doyle. Doyle, over from the Angels, is 29. He is a fastball pitcher, at 89, a fly ball pitcher. With Atlanta, 2-0 in 69, a 2.08 ERA, 36 appearances, and 4 saves. He threw 39 innings, allowed 31 hits. All 9 runs are earned. He gave up 4 homers. He walked 16 and struck out 25. And in the words of Martha Reeves and the Vandellas from just a few years ago before that, nowhere to run to for Doyle and nowhere to hide. They are loaded for Rose, who drove in 82 in 69 in his day, or on his day. He has grunted into a double play. That would still score another run. But he has singled and doubled. 96 degrees. Not a breath of wind. It is a hot day on the banks of the Ohio River. And Paul Doyle has just stepped into the frying pan. He winds and deals. Ground ball to Boyer. They'll go to Mian for 1. Rose hustled down the line. Woodward's going to score, and it's 6-4 Reds. And Rose has an RBI. I got a player photo folder for everything there, Paul. Lee May is 1 for 4. He homered in the third. The Reds have a 5 spot on the board. So Clay Carroll, as do you, yes, is in line for the win, and Claude Raymond, who will break the hearts of everyone in Saranac Lake, is in line for the loss. Oh, the Topps cards, yeah. If you're a member of the Facebook Digital Dice Group, as I know you are, Mr. Al Red Sox Fan has a folder up there with every player photos from every year from 47 to 90, I think, which is what I use for 88. Maybe 2005. So that's how I get them for the individual years. This is just the massive omnibus one that was posted on Action PC 1,000 years ago on their forums. May is set, as we said, 1 for 4, a solo homer in the third. Base hit left field. Ruiz is going to score. Carney picks it up. Rose stands on second. 6-run 8th inning for the Reds. And here's Tony Perez. Tony 1 for 4. Single run scored and a strikeout. Pitch to Perez. That's into right center. Gonzalez will retreat and make the catch. Rose goes back to tag. And they're going to let him run. The throw to third. Head first slide. Gets away from Boyer. So Gonzalez made the great play, but Rose is going to score on the air. And May goes on to third. And so Charlie Hustle steals a run. It was a bad throw, and when you're looking down and seeing Pete Rose barreling down the line from second to third, you're going to flinch. And that's what happened. So Lee May on third. The Reds have 7 runs here in the 8th. For those of you who left early, you're not going to believe this is a tribute game because the Reds are going to win, maybe. Johnny Bench is 2 for 4. He has singled twice and scored. Back to Doyle. Over to Cepeda. We go to the 9th. 7 runs, 6 hits and an error. And after 8, Reds 8, Atlanta 4. So Wayne Granger, 25 years old, up with the Reds, fastball pitcher 85 and a fly ball pitcher. He pitched 90 times for the Reds. He went 9-6 in 69 with an earned run average of 280. In 144 2/3, he had 143 hits, 64 runs, 45 earned, 10 homers, he walked 40 and struck out 68. Tony Gonzalez is 0 for 4. Be Gonzalez, Aaron, and Carty. Braves 4 to tie, 5 to go ahead. Someone asked if we would do a show on, does the loss of a player in real life change the way a game? I will say this, it's interesting because if you are a regular viewer of the channel, you know that the Reds pretty much have wrapped up the National League West. And so, in a way, the answer to that is going to be yes, because Rose is going to be the manager of the Reds against the New York Mets in the 88 NLCS. Davis body painting. Gonzalez is 0 for 4, and yep, the Reds are ahead in a tribute game featuring the Reds. Gonzalez into right. There goes Rose. Pete running back. He takes off his shirt. 1 out. 96 degrees here in Cincinnati. Here's Aaron. Hank has singled, doubled, driven in a run, and scored. Granger from the wind. Ground ball to third. Perez over to May, and there's 2 out. So last chance saloon for the Braves. Be Rico Carty. He doubled and scored and has walked twice. So Rose, not a bad day. 2 for 5. Few outs in the field. An RBI on the fielder's choice. And a run as the Reds explode for 7 in the 8th. Granger, no. Tommy Aaron is not going to pinch hit. Pitch to Carty. Popped up. Bench. I think he's going to run out of Ohio there. He will. And it's a 1-2 count. Walked him. Carty looks back in the Braves dugout going, what were you thinking? Here's Cepeda. Orlando is 2 for 4. Has singled twice, scored, and struck out. Again, last chance saloon for the Braves. They trail by 4. Yeah, we'll pinch it. Here's Tito Francona. Terry's dad at 295, 2 homers and 22 RBI. Granger trying to get that 3rd out. Won't be Francona as that's in the right center, and Tolan will throw it back in. So the tying run is on deck. they'll concede the third to Carty. So runners on the corners for Clete Boyer, who was 1 for 4 and driven in 2. So Carty on third, Francona on first. No, Boyer's going to hit. Slow ground ball to Woodward, who underhands it to Helms, and the Reds win it. 8-4 the final. Doesn't happen very often, gang. 3 hours and 9 minutes. 8 runs, 13 hits an error for the Reds. They left on 9. 4 runs, 11 hits, 2 errors for the Braves. And they left on 11. Clay Carroll is your winner. Maloney didn't pitch all that well and had plus stuff, really. Jim Maloney got the start, 5 innings, 8 hits, 4 runs, all earned. He walked 3 and struck out 1. Yeah, thank you, Cody. If you watch my stuff at all, it doesn't happen this way. Clay Carroll, 3 innings, 2 hits, and a walk. He picks up the win. Wayne Granger, a shaky 9th, but didn't give up a run. Ron Reed, 7 innings, 9 hits, 3 runs, all earned. Of the home run to May, he walked 2 and struck out 2. Claude Raymond didn't retire anybody. 3 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned, and he walked 2. And Doyle allowed a hit. Well, who's the MVP? Well, it's going to be Pete Rose. It's his tribute game. Of course it's going to be Pete Rose. He went 2 for 5. He scored a run. He made 2 catches in the outfield, and he drove in a run. I'm thinking we'll figure out something for Mutombo. I'm kind of screwed up this week. I got a meeting on Thursday, and I'm supposed to do a doubleheader, which probably won't happen until next week. So we'll figure out something for Mutombo. We might do that tomorrow at lunch. But whatever you think of Pete Rose, the person, you can't deny that Pete Rose, the player, was one of the all-time best to play the game. And I hope that in the last hour and 2 minutes that we've done a good job in paying tribute to Pete Rose, the player. And so on his best year, he has a good game against the eventual division winners. 2 for 5, a run scored, and an RBI. And so with that, I'm Ron Juckett. Thank you so much for watching. We'll talk to you the next time.